So, the Fold 5. Now you probably know the specs, but what people aren't telling you is how using a folding phone actually changes the way you use a phone, for better and for worse. Let's talk about that. Okay, so first, everyone is talking about the new Flex hinge. It's got a gapless design and so it's thinner. Yes, all that is true, but here's the real deal. The hinge now makes absolutely no sound when you open it or close it. That's one. Second, it's got like this smooth, almost consistent tension. So it's not like it's more at a certain point or less at some other point. Just look at this. You can pretty much stop this at any angle. That's how perfectly this hinge now works. And third, this is now almost like 99% straight. The Fold 4 had this incline on the surface, which was a bit odd. But this one is very symmetrical and that is just so much more pleasing. Anyway, number 2, durability. So Samsung talked about how the frame is now built using strong armor aluminum and the display is protected using the current strongest Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Great. But here's the important thing to note. You see the display inside, right? It's softer than the display outside because the inside display has to fold. So naturally, it does not have the same strength. But Samsung this time has made the display inside 25% stronger. So it is more durable, especially as compared to the previous Fold model, so it's going to last longer. Number 3, that large display. And I'm not sure people realize the true potential of a large format display as on the Fold 5. Look, it's not just about the 7.6-inch display, which is super bright, it is super smooth, and it is super sharp. It's obvious that watching content on a screen this big or playing games is going to be super fun. In my opinion, I think it's about productivity. Look, there's a reason why you prefer laptop screens over your phone screens because, you need the extra screen estate to do work more efficiently. And that's pretty much what the Z Fold 5 gives you more of as compared to a traditional candy bar smartphone. Like, just think of how you can view and read Excel files on this phone, or even PowerPoint presentations, whether it's, just viewing them or doing minor edits. I love the fact that I could be watching a video as I make notes for my own videos. Love the fact that I can simply call out my music player from the side, change tracks as I work, and listen to some music. And the ability to just switch between apps quickly because the taskbar right here makes things super accessible and quick. And one of the other things I really like is how you can just connect it to an external monitor and pretty much have like a PC-like experience. The phone's large screen, it actually can serve as a keyboard and a full-scale trackpad to use for mouse functions. But here's the thing, this isn't something that everyone is going to want or need or even use. I mean, this large screen only lends itself if you're deep into your work, you're always on the move, you want to stay connected and you want to keep things rolling. You don't want work to stop. That's where this large screen and its productivity is. Now, the next thing that the Fold 5 does very well, unlike any other folding phone in the market, is offer you very unique app experiences. For example, if you look at WhatsApp, you get this extended view where all threads are on the left side and the conversations on the right side. Same goes for Gmail. You get a similar split view that lets you go through emails more conveniently. My favorite though is YouTube. I love the fact that, I get this almost desktop-like experience with related videos right here and the ability to go through comments quite easily. And so the way it just changes and shapes your experience with really popular apps, that is the game changer. And if not now, it will be in the future for folding phones. But it doesn't end there. Certain apps will provide you with even more functionality in that flex mode. For example, again on YouTube, when you fold, you get this nice little media controller here along with the ability to change brightness and volume levels. If you enable the trackpad, you can use it to scroll more easily, tap with 3 fingers to go back, and tap with 4 fingers to launch the app drawer. Now, let's say you're in camera. You could enable a split view, and as you take photos, they get all gathered here, so you can preview or delete them if you like. And certain apps will adapt automatically to give you a more comfortable and segregated view like the calendar or the calculator. And so you see, it's not just about a large display. It's also about how these apps adapt themselves in this flex mode to give you a more superior functionality. Now, of course, there are not too many apps right now, but in time, I do hope that more apps get onto this. For example, I use Slack and Skype, but they still show up in this regular form. So obviously, more third-party apps need to adopt to this form. However, there's still some time to it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is performance. And sure, this is Samsung's most expensive flagship device, so It's got pretty much the best flagship performance. It features the fastest mobile chip, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and it is overclocked for higher performance and optimization for Galaxy devices. But here's what's interesting to note. Both the Flip 5 and the Fold 5 have the same chip, but the Fold 5 is able to deliver higher performance. And this is because of two reasons. Number one, it's just a larger device, right? So it's got more surface area to ventilate heat. The second thing is this time they've increased the vapor chamber by 38%, and that's why it's cooler. And lastly, I just want to talk about how Samsung has really paid attention to the accessories, specifically the cases this time for the Fold 5. Like for the Fold 4 last year, it had, a very bulky case for the S Pen. But now they've created this very streamlined case where the S Pen sits very flush with the case, and so it's much more compact. It's easier to, put in your pocket and even hold and use. Even the colors available for this case, they're so sporty and nice. And there's a bunch of other cases, so depending on what you prefer, what's your style, how do you want your phone to look when you're in a specific setting, you've got options. Now, you may still question that, hey, if it is such a great phone, then why isn't it mainstream yet? Or why are more and more people not buying and using it? Well, turns out there are still quite a few quirks. First and foremost, it's still quite expensive. It still isn't dust resistant. It does still have a bit of crease. There are still many apps that need to be optimized for that flex experience. The aspect ratio, it can feel weird to some people, especially when watching content because of, those black bars, though I got used to it pretty quickly. The battery is still at 4400 mAh, plus that cover screen is still quite narrow and it doesn't feel as natural as you would with other candy bar phones. But if you ask me, and honestly, I don't think any of these are deal breakers. I think the foldables have come a long way, and that's exactly what I said in my Flip 5 review, which by the way, you can watch here. I'll leave a card. And guys, if you've got the budget, I think these are absolutely fantastic devices. I mean, there's just something about them that makes you feel unique. And guys, if you care about productivity, I don't think there's any other folding phone better suited for that except for the Z Fold 5. And that's it about the Z Fold 5. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comment section. I'll definitely help you out. And if you enjoyed watching the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification icon, and mark all. Really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.